It's saving time here again. We sprung forward. Unfortunately, we lost that hour of sleep, and you have to change all your clocks. We don't want you to forget that. So change the clock, change the alarm, and your car clock as well, the one on the microwave, all of them.
Yes.
And if you have the coffee timer, definitely that one. That's like the most important.
Do the full sweep. But you know, new research is showing that daylight saving time actually creates more frustration in our lives. Not terribly surprising.
I believe
the time change leads to more car crashes, slumping sales in stores, and reduced productivity. Along with that, it actually leads to more energy usage by people, not less as you may think. Some states have actually done away with it, and one California lawmaker is pushing for that as well.
Weatherate certified San Diego's most accurate forecast. This is 10 News Pinpoint Weather.
I do like the extra hour of light though.
I do like that.
Nice,
yeah, you're right. You know what I don't like is that it messes with my sky cams. It messes with how much I can show you at given times. But you know what? Today doesn't matter because I don't have anything but fog to show you anyway. Look at these conditions right now downtown. It is so bad out there. Normally we can see the whole skyline, the lights on the buildings, and now I can't make any of that out. We do have that dense fog advisory in effect for our coastal and inland communities until 9 a.m. When you look at this visibility map with me, the smaller the number, the worse the fog. So 0 is bad. These are miles. Oceanside, 0 miles of visibility. Same for Carlsbad and Kearny Mesa. We're at 1 mile of visibility in Vista, downtown, and Chula Vista. La Jolla only at 2 miles of visibility, and it is starting to affect some of our inland communities as well. So we need to be watching for this fog all week long. Temperatures will be 10 to 15 degrees above average as well this week, and our dry pattern will continue. I don't have any rain in your 7-day forecast. Right now we're looking at 52 degrees in Kearny Mesa, 56 in San Diego, 54 in the South Bay and Chula Vista. Escondido waking up to 53. It's still in the 40s though over in Vista. High pressure continues to keep our conditions dry and warm. We do have a little bit of shower activity developing up in the Pacific Northwest. That is not expected to reach us, and it's really not going to help us cool down either because of how strong our high pressure is here in Southern California. 71 is the high at the coast today. We reached 78 on Tuesday, our hottest day, 70s all week, and by St. Patty's Day, we're seeing 76 and sunshine. It looks great for those St. Patty's Day plans. Inland 83 today, 87 tomorrow, and then we climb to a high of 90 on Tuesday. We could even set some new heat records. We'll keep it in the 80s for the rest of the week once we get through Tuesday. For the mountains, 73 today. The desert's 91 all week long. So if you've been wanting to wear shorts and flip-flops, this is the week.
Yeah, air conditioning possibly necessary.
Yeah,
here
get ready
this
for
week.
that bill.
Okay, a scheme to steal your pets. Thieves posing as animal control officers, the specific types of dogs they're looking for.
And your insurance company could be spying on you. We're going to tell you how they can use what you post on social media accounts against you in a claim or even just to charge you more.
Town halls across the county yesterday turning into screaming matches, how demonstrators clashed and how city leaders responded.
10 News this morning, connecting you to the stories your family needs to start the day.
Jared, a tough time for district staff, students, and parents.
Very much so, and the PE program is one of the things on the chopping block.
Problem to point out right now in North County.
Happening now, construction is underway to expand trolley and coaster service.
And today and all weekend long, this is what you're going to want to take with you.
Mimi, I know neighbors in that area say speeding.
Look right over here on Santo Road. You can see that the speed limit is 45 miles an hour.
10 News this morning, stories that matter.
On your Sunday morning, and yeah, 6:14. We lost an hour thanks to daylight saving, and it's 56 degrees at the coast right now. We're warming up into the lower 70s there, and I do want to remind you that there is dense fog in our coastal and inland communities this morning.
All right, 10 News looking ahead to some of the big events happening this week here in San Diego. On Monday, a Pine Valley man who stabbed his neighbor with a samurai sword will be sentenced. Douglas Kell pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter after he killed Donnie Chip with a 3-foot sword during a drunken argument. Kell is expected to get 6 years in prison. On Friday, a funeral for the woman killed in the crossfire of a gang shooting. Catherine Kennedy was driving home from church Tuesday night when a stray bullet hit her in the head. After she was shot, she crashed into a parked truck and died at the hospital. Her funeral will be at St. Timothy's Church in Escondido. And shifting gears on a lighter note here on Tuesday, March 14th, Whole Foods will be celebrating Pie Day. Yes, it is a thing, and they're going to be offering discounts. They're offering $3.14 off a large bakery pie and large take and bake pizzas. The deal is only on Tuesday.
It's scary, but you know, I always tell people you cannot leave your dog outside unattended.
We're talking about a scheme to steal expensive dogs. Deputies in Perry County, Illinois say 2 men are driving around in a truck and they're posing as animal control officers. They say the men have stolen at least 5 purebred dogs in the area. Neighbors say it's not the first time something like this has happened.
I remember years ago this happened. I didn't have this dog, I had a chow. And the same thing was kind of going around, and it really scared me. It was really scary, but he doesn't go out without me.
Yeah, that's terrifying for those of us with dogs. The sheriff's department is warning dog owners to make sure they never let their dogs out on their own, not even in the backyard right now. They say the stolen dogs are likely gone for good.
All right, a movie premiere takes a terrifying turn. Yeah, a giant model of King Kong went up in flames at the premiere of Kong, Skull Island. This happened Thursday in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Investigators think flames from a nearby volcano simulation caused that fire. It was massive. Crowds at the premiere first thought it was all part of the show, but they scrambled to safety after realizing that no, it was not.
Wow.
Yeah, no one was hurt there.
Well, this is wild. Your insurance company could be spying on you when you're posting pictures meant for your friends and family on social media. Yeah, your insurance company could actually use those against you.
Yeah, they are watching and taking note. Reporter Jonathan Carlson reveals the kinds of information that they're looking for.
How much of a liability are you? We headed to a place in Metro Detroit where one could find some of the biggest risk takers around.
Just a base camp. No, I'm not summiting.
Still, Erica Tull plans to climb a good portion of Mount Everest. And yes, she plans to let the world know about it.
And are you going to post it on social media, you think?
Yes, I am. Absolutely.
She and others were training at Planet Rock Climbing Gym. Unaware, insurance investigators could be judging their lifestyle and analyzing their risk.
It's a little unnerving, I guess.
From thrilling photos to just the basics of your life, what you may not know is companies, like employers, are now building a portrait of your life and risk by what you post. Is that legal?
It's not a simple answer, but in general, yeah.
Lawyer Lance Raphael with the Consumer Advocacy Center in Chicago is one of the nation's experts on privacy.
If it is something that you've posted that's available to the public, then they can look at it.
Insurance adjusters may be looking at things like, do you have a clean driving record, but you're posting photos of yourself street racing? Or neglect to mention you climb mountains for fun.
Would it freak you out knowing that an insurance company is monitoring your social media feed to decide how risky your life is?
Yeah, I think it would.
Meanwhile, experts recommend setting up accounts with the maximum privacy settings so anyone who isn't a friend or relative can't see the ins and outs of your life.
I find this very concerning because I'm a hiker and I've gone on some sketchy trails. My bill might be going up. That was reporter Jonathan Carlson for us. Now, some states are considering passing laws to limit how companies can use your social media accounts.
All right, happening now. Your kid's summer break may still be months away, but it's not too early to start thinking about camp. The YMCA and other groups offering a lot of daily and overnight camps locally. You can start signing up right now. All the Y camps are first come, first serve, so you better get a move on. One of the big camps is Camp Surf. This is very popular in Imperial Beach. There's day and overnight options designed for kids grades 3 through 11. The manager says it, or any other camp, it's really about just having fun. All right, we're supposed to have some sound, but other YMCA camps include cooking camp or laser tag camp. And the Y, not the only game in town. The Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts also offering camps, and we've posted all of that information at 10news.com. Just look under the red TV button.
I am an adult, but I want to go to laser tag camp.
Laser tag camp, there is such a thing.
That sounds so fun. That would be #1 on my list for sure. Hey, let's take a look outside in La Jolla. I want to show you how bad this fog is. So we have that dense fog advisory until 9 a.m. for our coastal and inland communities. Some areas at less than a mile of visibility right now. So please be careful as you head outside. So we are going to see 83 today in Escondido and Fallbrook, El Cajon, La Mesa as well. We'll top out at 80 degrees in Chula Vista, Del Mar, 70, downtown San Diego, 71, 82 for San Marcos, over in Alpine, 83. Mount Laguna 67 degrees. Imperial Beach, South Bay hitting 70. We'll see Mission Beach hitting 70 as well. Encinitas is a little warmer at 72, up in Vista at 78. We'll see that fog burning off mid to late morning, and then we'll get sunshine this afternoon.
Yep, the heat is on. All right, Beyonce setting up shop in Southern California. The new experience the superstar is bringing to Los Angeles.
And a new push to set up more San Diego kids for a lifetime of success.
It's never too early to get your kids interested in science. Coming up on 10 News, I'll tell you how you can get involved.
Beyonce and Jay-Z are adding restaurant owners to their resume. The stars are opening a new restaurant in Los Angeles. According to entertainment blogger B. Scott, the restaurant taking over a location on Sunset Boulevard. The blog claims top chefs are already being interviewed.
Oh, I look forward to trying that. Well, you don't have to go far to get some of the best medical treatment in the whole country. Scripps Memorial has been named one of the top 100 hospitals in the U.S. That's according to Truven Health Analytics. The list is based on survival and complication rates, readmissions, and lengths of stay. This is the second straight year the La Jolla facility has appeared on this list.
Local parents finding new ways to get their kids hooked on science and math. 10 News reporter Kaylina Estrinos reveals how a North County museum is using classic fairy tales to inspire modern learning.
Yeah, you want to add that to it?
No, Maisie MacArthur is just 2.5 years old. I need help. She's building, creating, and problem solving. Help me. Her mom, Mandy, carefully watching.
You got it, girl. You did it.
Mandy, like many parents, is getting her child exposed to science at an early age. This gives mom a glimpse at what might catch her daughter's attention.
Well, you want to give them opportunities to thrive and learn and be exposed and figure out what their interests are, and this is one way you can see what they're interested in.
The San Diego Children's Discovery Museum in Escondido is just one of the many places trying to stimulate and foster creative thinking. Kimberly Tomlinson says, the younger, the better.
So much of what we are able to do as adults happens as we are developing as children. And so being able to use a pair of scissors is a piece of cake for an adult, but for a child, it requires so many things to be firing off at your brain at the same time.
Wednesday's challenge included the children's book, 3 Billy Goats Bluff, paired with an engineering task.
We tend to get responses that are like, it feels like I'm on a field trip or I'm having so much fun. And that's so great because it's almost like they're secret learning.
And it's this secret learning that's pushing kids like Maisie to exercise their minds in hopes of a better future.
Good job, Fred.
In Escondido, Kaylina Estrinos, 10 News.
All right, workshops will take place this weekend during the Countywide Festival of Science and Engineering. 10 News, a proud sponsor of that. If you would like to learn more, we have put information about the workshops at 10news.com. Just click on the red TV button.
6:26 now. The water at Imperial Beach is back open today after that massive sewage spill. We're going to tell you what the city plans to do now to fix the environmental problems.
Local town halls turning to screaming matches. How demonstrators clashed all across the county yesterday. You're watching 10 News this morning. This morning, a shooting on the 8 freeway. CHP shutting down the 8 in both directions as they search for shell casings.
A foggy start out there for your Sunday morning. I'm tracking when this will burn off and just how hot it's going to get today.
Plus, the water finally back open in Imperial Beach after a massive sewage spill. But could it happen again? 10 News this morning starts now.
Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
And welcome back on this Sunday. We're on top of all the news you need to know to start your day. I'm Vanessa Van Hefty.
And I'm Kristen Keogh. Robert Santos is off today. We're happy to have you with us, though. It's daylight saving time. Our clock sprung forward at 2 o'clock this morning. So really 2 o'clock didn't exist today. So that means we all lost that hour of sleep, but we get to enjoy an extra hour of sunlight, so we can appreciate that. If you're confused about what time it is right now, it's 6:30. So if you haven't done so, you want to turn your clocks forward by 1 hour. Now let's talk about the weather. I want to give you a live picture here of our downtown sky cam, if we can take that. Oh, we're still talking time. Okay, now let's talk fog. We are seeing slight improvements here downtown, but a dense fog advisory is in effect until 9 a.m. for our coastal and inland communities. It's 56 at the coast right now, so pretty mild, but you'll still want to have some layers on when you step outside. Cool inland at 45 degrees. Here's how your day looks. We'll heat up to 71 with sunshine this afternoon at the coast. For our inland communities, a high of 83. Soon, we're going to hit 90. I'm pinpointing wind for you coming up.
Okay, breaking news out of East County right now. A shooting on the 8 freeway. Right now, the CHP has both sides of the 8 shut down near Jackson Drive and the 125 merge. 10 News reporter Gracia Aguilar is there live on the scene with an update.
Yeah, good morning. We're still working on very few details. The CHP officer we just spoke with doesn't know much either. She just arrived for her shift, but they do have the 8 eastbound on-ramp closed, still shut down as police officers, CHP officers are on the freeway looking for shell casings and continuing their investigation. We do know that a shooting happened on the freeway. We don't know what led up to it. We don't have all the information yet, but they do have this on-ramp closed. The first lane, the slow lane of the freeway is now being opened up, so it's taking a while to get all this cleared up and open. We did drive by earlier the southbound 125 freeway where we saw a car being towed. That car was on the shoulder. There were officers there as well. On the passenger side, it had 2 bullet holes on the door and 2 more on the window. Again, we don't know what the car, who was in this car, how this all happened. But yeah, we're back here in La Mesa. The eastbound is still closed for the freeway. We're working on getting more details. Once we know, we'll update you with that information. Reporting live in La Mesa, Gracia Aguilar, 10 News.
A breaking news update now. A horror-filled night at a local hotel. Someone shot a man in the head in Claremont Mesa. This happened inside the Pleasant Inn. Jeannie Graham is a guest at the hotel. She says she heard a gunshot and then saw a woman running from the room. She says the woman screamed to call 911. She went in trying to help, but saw a man slumped over in a pool of blood. Graham says the woman vanished with her bag and then came back a short time later.
She came running around the corner and up the stairs and saying, "That was my man, my man." But he was bleeding a real lot.
Police say they're still trying to figure out what exactly happened there before they make any arrests.
Happening now, the hunt is on for the driver who hit a man and left him for dead. It happened when a car was pulling out of a mobile home park in Bay Park. The driver hit a pedestrian and that man was rushed to the hospital with a fractured skull. That's a life-threatening injury. Police say it happened on Knoxville Street near Morena Boulevard at about 6:30 last night. So police are now looking for a gray or silver Nissan Altima with a possible license plate of 6PBX536. They say the car might have some damage to the front right side.
All right, new developments. The Imperial Beach coastline back open this morning, weeks after that massive sewage spill. 10 News was first to tell you about the report from the International Boundary and Water Commission. It said someone in Mexico dumped more than 200 million gallons of raw sewage into the Tijuana River. Between that and all the rain that we've been having, it was bad for some businesses there. A florist says that she has struggled to sell flowers. Yesterday, the sun came out, and according to the Department of Environmental Health, the water's cleared up.
He doesn't smell anymore, which is really nice, and he's very healthy.
A spokesperson tells us that they are committed to finding a solution to the environmental problems there. Last week, we talked to retired Congressman and former Imperial Beach Mayor Brian Bilbrey, who thinks there's only one way to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Tours aren't going to solve the problem. The key is you've got to be willing to be tough enough to tell Mexico that there will be repercussions on Mexico if they pollute the U.S. side.
The water is still closed south of the Imperial Beach to the border.
You can't handle the question. You can't handle it because you're ignorant.
Ooh, cussing and raised voices, anger boiling over at one of 3 town halls across San Diego. Representatives Daryl Issa, Duncan Hunter, and Susan Davis met with their constituents Saturday. 10 News anchor Riel Creighton explains that a lot of the talk focused on health care.
Take away our health care! Don't you dare!
Protests and counter-protests outside of a town hall meeting by Congressman Daryl Issa, a screaming match erupting in the street.
Trump! 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 Get a job!
Daryl Issa wants to get rid of Planned Parenthood.
This woman, who said her daughter received life-saving care through Planned Parenthood, said she couldn't get into the meeting but came to be heard.
It infuriates me to think that a man who has never had a cervix is going to determine the health of my beautiful daughter.
Inside, also a sometimes tense crowd, Isa cool, answering wide-ranging questions on everything from Russian meddling to immigration, at times unable to get his answers out.
In what they do that might
Healthcare and what happens to the Affordable Care Act, the focus in a divided room.
I'm not a declared candidate, nor am I a paid protester. What I am is a cancer survivor and the aunt to a little girl who was born with a congenital heart condition.
People wanted to be heard, and this was one of their opportunities, and I think they were generally respectful. Obviously, there are some who wanted to be heard more than their share.
In Ramona, Republican Congressman Duncan Hunter also facing protests, but a very vocal group of supporters lining up ahead of his town hall.
We love what he does. We love what he stands for. Immigration, the economy, secure borders.
Democratic Congresswoman Susan Davis faced a much less contentious crowd at SDSU. Rielle Creighton, 10 News.
Right now to a health alert. If your allergies are maybe acting up a little bit, this may be the reason. A 10 News viewer sent us these pictures. This is pollen covering cars in the East Lake. 10 News spoke with a doctor at Sharp last week. He says all of this rain that we've been having is giving plants a boost, and that's causing a problem. It's been a tough spring for people with allergies, and it's not just the pollen. The rain is also increasing mold allergies as well. The doctor says if you are having symptoms, start with an over-the-counter med. Look for a long-acting antihistamine that doesn't sedate.
Oh yeah, we're all feeling it. Thousands of people are expected to flock to downtown San Diego for the San Diego Half Marathon, and you need to be ready for some traffic delays along the Embarcadero and through Liberty Station, into Mission Hills, and then also into Hillcrest when the race kicks off in less than 30 minutes. The race will head back through Balboa Park and then end up in Gaslamp. The road should start getting back to normal at about 11:30 this morning.
All right, thousands of mariachi fans will be in National City for the 5th Annual International Mariachi Festival. This is video from last year's festival. Today, the world's best mariachi bands will be at Pepper Park competing for the top prize. The event starts at 11 this morning. It goes all day until 7, and it is free.
Okay, this is the best story ever. Today, Walmart wants to celebrate your birthday by giving out free cupcakes to everyone, even if it's not your birthday. I don't know why they're doing this, but I like it. Stores will be giving out one free chocolate or vanilla cupcake to any customer today from 1 to 4 p.m. So the company says they're planning to give out 3 million cupcakes, and you don't even need a coupon. You just show up and say you want a cupcake. I love this.
Yes, great idea, Walmart. And the Chicago River are going green for St. Patty's Day. It has been a tradition there since 1962, drawing hundreds of thousands of people from all over the world. Chicago Journeyman Plumbers Union actually dye the river. They dump a secret concoction of the sides of the motorboats. They say that the dye is environmentally friendly. If you're wondering how they get it green, it's made from vegetables.
What vegetables would be that green?
I don't know.
Kale, spinach?
They do it every year. Here in San Diego, there is the Shamrock Party in the Gaslamp to get you in the spirit. It is next Friday night on the actual holiday. And we mentioned it earlier, it is time to spring forward for daylight saving time if you haven't done it already. Today, also a good time to check out a few other things like the batteries in your smoke detector and carbon monoxide alarms. If they're low, replace them. Families should also review emergency exit strategies in case of fire. And if you don't have one, sit down with your family to make one. Take time to replenish medications and emergency kits in the house, in the car. That includes food, water, flashlights, batteries, all these things to think about. And don't forget for things for your pets as well if you have them.
Weatherate certified San Diego's most accurate forecast. This is 10 News Pinpoint Weather.
So it's not technically spring yet, and our temperatures are already going to feel like summer this week.
Does.
We're going to be seeing those temperatures 10 to 15 degrees above average, so really toasty. That'll be the story that you'll be talking about once you're done talking about this fog situation that we have out there this morning. I'm seeing a little bit of an improvement in Pacific Beach, but it's not great. We're seeing really dense fog everywhere along the coast, and taking a look at the visibility map, remember that when we look at this, the smaller the number, the worse the fog, because this is telling you the miles of visibility. So 0 is not good. That's what we're seeing in Oceanside and Carlsbad. Also in Kearney Mesa, we're down to 2 miles of limited visibility there in La Jolla and San Diego. And in Chula Vista, South Bay, not doing great either. We're seeing just 1 mile of visibility there. So we're going to be dealing with this fog pretty much all week long for our coastal and inland communities. And it's going to become dense at times in the evenings and the mornings. Again, temperatures will be 10 to 15 degrees above average this week, and our dry pattern continues with no rain in sight in my 7-day forecast. Right now, it's 56 in San Diego, 52 in Escondido, and 55 in Chula Vista. We do have that high pressure keeping us so warm, and there is a storm brewing in the Pacific Northwest, but we're expected to get left out of this, and the jet stream is going to stay really high because of all of our high pressure down here in Southern California. So that's not going to help cool us off either. At the coast today, 71. We climbed to 78 on our hottest day of the week, Tuesday. We're at 76 on Friday for St. Patrick's Day with tons of sunshine. It's going to be a really nice day for celebrations. 83 inland today. We climb to 87 tomorrow. And look at Tuesday. We could see some new high temperature records as we hit 90 degrees. And after that, we're back in the 80s. St. Patty's Day, 87. For the mountains, we keep it in the 70s all week long, really mild. For the deserts, we are in the 90s today, and we'll keep it in the 90s all week long.
Wow, we are delivering for all those spring breakers here.
Oh yeah, they're loving it for sure.
All right, he is well over 100 years old, but he's not leaving the dance floor. The secret, he says, that keeps him young, extending life 1 hour at a time.
Well, and you've probably seen them, those escape rooms. They're sweeping the country. Coming up next, the local company that's taking a different approach. You're watching 10 News this morning. TV, I invite you to come back so you can see this new video. Snowboarders were not alone on the slopes in Colorado. Check this out. A moose comes from out of nowhere, just charging down the mountain. Vanessa, you said you've seen this happen before.
I've seen it, and yeah, they're not friendly.
Oh, so at first these skiers thought that it was a horse. That would have been friendlier, right? The animal was speeding down the slopes at Breckenridge Ski Resort, and luckily it avoided the people running past them into the woods. Moose are one of the most dangerous animals in the wild. So this is scary stuff, actually.
103 years old.
Love this guy. Carl Tingard doesn't let his age slow him down despite being born in 1914, just 5 months before World War I even started. He tears up the dance floor every